I know in past videos I've talked about my incredibly abusive son. Well, last week I went no contact with him, and today he tricked me into answering a phone call from him after I had blocked him. He used some software to change his number or something, and after I told him that I didn't want to talk to him anymore, and he, in the ensuing conversation, told me that used Darvo against me several times, and I have told him before that I am just really, really tired of his abuse, his verbal abuse, his emotional abuse, his, quite frankly, financial abuse. Um, I've given this boy like a million chances, and I'm not exaggerating when I say it's feels like a billion at this point. I've done everything that a mother could do. I have not let him be homeless. He let me be homeless multiple times. I have not let him be homeless. I provided him with a home. I put a roof over his head. I kept the bills paid. Um, and he was an adult. I came home from Norway from a devastating divorce, a devastating marriage to a man who clearly did not love me or care about me in the least. And I come home to even worse abuse from my own child. So I'm not a victim here. I'm not a victim. I don't really see myself as a victim anymore. I know I used to. I did used to, but I don't anymore. And I now see that, like, through years of therapy that I've been in, um, some of the patterns that I have been displaying and things that kind of like the roller coaster merry-go-round that PTSD can do to people. Thank you, Bailey. Thank you for saying I'm very pretty. I appreciate that. I do have um, stage 4 cancer, and um, hi Jordan, hi Migdalia, um, hi everybody. I've just been, part of my goal this year. It's okay. It's okay, everybody. He is. Yeah, I mean, I've been through this many times with my son. He is a classic manipulative abuser. He uses things like Darvo on me. He finds reasons to pick fights and make me upset and angry. This last bout was about his father. Um, his father was an incredibly abusive man who I left when my son was 3, and I raised my son to be respectful of women, but he has physically abused me. And the physical abuse and the emotional kind of abuse started when he was still pretty young, about 10. He's also been very violent in ways, acting out violent in ways, lighting fires, doing things like that. And I couldn't get anybody to help me with him. I couldn't get any help at all. I was a single mother raising him by myself, and I had to work. I mean, I couldn't stay home. I had to work. And no one would help me. No one's ever helped me. No, not with him. And he just called me and proceeded to abuse me for about 30 minutes before I finally just said, I can't he's so delusional. He is so absolutely delusional. He called me to tell me, literally, he called me to tell me that he's got another job. So now he's working 2 jobs and that he's going to pay me back money. Yeah. Do you know how many times I've heard this? And that he's sorry and that he's going to change and he's going to be better and all he wants to do is make me proud of him. I've heard all this at least 150 times over the last 4 years, 5 years. I've heard it all. I am battling stage 4 cancer. I just had sepsis where he left me to die in September. And then on my birthday in October, literally 6 weeks after I had gotten out of intensive care, he decided to get blindingly drunk and not only cut one of my tires, which I need to get to the hospital. I need my car to get to the hospital because the buses here don't run all the time. And if something happens in the middle of the night, if I get a fever or something in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day or whenever, I don't want to have to call an ambulance because the only time I ever called an ambulance to come to my house, it really frightened my dog, like really badly. And I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. And, there were 8 people in my apartment, when there were all these men and it was very kind of scary, for my dog, and it really freaked him out. And then of course I was gone, when I was gone for a while, and it scared him and he didn't know what to think. And, I don't like scaring my dog like that. So when I need to go to the hospital and I can get myself there, I will. And I have done before. Because believe you me, I haven't really had much help since I've been ill, and it's been 14 years. I don't speak to my family, my mother, my brother, my sister, my aunts and uncles, my cousins. Because I'm the black sheep of the family. I'm also the scapegoat. So for any problems that anyone has, they can blame it on me, and I'm the person that takes the blame. Okay. But I cut all of them off. And most of them I cut off a long time ago. My mother I cut off 12 years ago. And my sister and my brother, I cut them off 12 years ago. And I haven't looked back. And now I've cut off my son, but he won't leave me alone. He won't leave me alone. He called me to tell me he got another job and he's going to start paying me back. He told me two weeks ago he was getting a promotion at his current job. That was also a lie. He didn't get a promotion. He didn't even get a raise. Because he's not as good as he thinks he is. He's arrogant. He thinks he's way better than he is. He's delusional. He, in his mind, thinks he's a great son to me and has been a great help to me. Let me ask you this. If someone asked you to make them spaghetti and you put garam masala in the spaghetti sauce, would you think that that person was trying to sabotage your dinner? Because he didn't put it in his. He just put it in mine. And the last time I looked, garam masala is like an Indian curry kind of ingredient. And I'm not a chef who worked at, Michelin star restaurants. That would be my son. One time I asked him to make me food. Do you know what he asked me? How about some applesauce? Applesauce was a lot of what he tried to give me. Or anything that required as little possible. Okay. During COVID, he refused to go to the grocery store. He sent his dying mother to the grocery store to buy groceries during COVID. And then he physically abused me because he was a drug addict and he wasn't working and he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle being at home all the time. He wanted to be out drinking and, you know, drinking and doing his thing and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you know, he's constantly abusive towards me. So it's, you know, it's not just boyfriends and husbands or brothers and fathers and uncles. It's also sons. It's also sons. And I'm not the only mother that's gone through this. By far, I'm not the only mother. At all. You can be sorry. I appreciate your condolences. I do. And yes, I am okay. I'm always okay. I survived a very bad childhood. I survived a very bad childhood. I came out on top. I have survived. I've survived stage 4 cancer. I've had stage 4 cancer for 14 years and I'm still alive. Thank you, Emmanuel Niemer. I appreciate that. I don't make a lot of videos, but you know, I don't feel good a lot, you know. Sometimes I feel really crappy. And today I had a good day. You know? I had a good day. Here's my puppers. He's always by my side. What a cutie patootie he is. Look at that handsome boy. Isn't he just the most handsome Bubba you ever saw? And that's my puppers. But I'm going to be okay. You know, no matter what, I'm a survivor. But here's where the rub lies in, though. Like, my son knows that I'm politically active and, like, you know, that, like, what's going on in the world, you know, affects me, you know. 2 nights ago, I had a terrible nightmare that I was one of those little girls in Iran that their school got bombed. And I was one of those little girls, and I was, you know, I think I was like writing letters, like, you know, practicing my letters or practicing numbers or writing something. And all of a sudden, you know, an explosion happened. And then I'm watching like my classmates, like heads get blown off and limbs flying everywhere and like deaths and like just. And then I get exploded. As if it's not hard enough living under this death cult regime that we're living under, as if that's not hard enough. Where every day I'm confronted with the fact that so many men want to hurt us women. They want to destroy us. They want to take away everything we have because men are so insecure. And I'm paying the price for my son's insecurity. He wants me to pay the toll for his insecurity. And I'm tired of paying for other people's insecurities. Like, grow up. Grow up. Take some responsibility for yourself. Take some responsibility for your own life. This is ridiculous. You know, we've got Roundup being like off the banned substances list. Woo! So more kids are going to get cancer. Yay! We've got morons and evil, casually cruel people running what's left of our government, looting us, stealing from us, and then to defy the world and kidnap Nicolas Maduro and his wife, which nobody ever hears about that anymore because what is the point? You know, it's old news. We don't care about Venezuela. Who the hell cares about Venezuela anyway? Right? As if we're not all interconnected. As if we're all not like interdependent. anyway, it is what it is. And life is what it is. And people are the way they are. And until people grow up and start understanding, I don't know what's going to happen to us. And then I see this, article come out about Gen Z men who, about a big majority of the Gen Z men think of women as subservient slaves. That's how my son sees me. That's how his father saw me. That's how my mother saw me. That's how my dad saw me. That's how my stepdad saw me. That's how my brother and sister saw me. That's how everyone in this world has looked at me and said, you are nothing. What you think doesn't matter. So I have to listen to hate-filled preachers say, women are dumb. Women are stupid. Women don't know anything. They're like children. I'm 52. I have lived a lifetime of experiences that have enriched me and hurt me and harmed me in ways. I've learned a lot about people. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about human nature. And, I'm not innocent by any means, by any standards. I'm not innocent. I've made my own mistakes. Many, many of them. Many. I've made many mistakes. But the difference between me and my son is I take accountability for my mistakes. And then I strive to never make that mistake again. I do my best to never do the same thing that I just apologized for again. He does not do that. He apologizes. He says, I'm sorry. And then literally 2 seconds later, he'll do the same thing he just did. He does. The world is on fire, and my son wants to abuse me emotionally and mentally. But I'll be okay. I'm always okay. I'm always okay. He uses trickery, and he uses lies, and he manipulates, and he obfuscates. And there's nothing more I can do for him. He's 30 years old, you guys. He's not a teenager. He's not a little boy. He's a man. He's a grown man who abuses his very ill mother. For what? Because he's unhappy with his own life? If you're unhappy with your life, look at it objectively. See what needs to be changed and change it. And as a matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do is change my phone number so he doesn't have my phone number anymore. So he can't just call me whenever he feels like it. And I may even change my name. I may go into hiding. I might leave the country. I don't know. I haven't quite decided exactly what I'll do yet because I don't think he's ever going to leave me alone. I think he's always going to find a way. But without taking accountability, that is. But you know what? It's going to be okay. My personal problems are just that. But I just want girls and women to know. And, if you're thinking about having children, just realize that they will not turn out the way you raise them. Not always. I did not raise my son to be like this. I raised him to be respectful, to be kind, to be loving, to use words like please, thank you, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. That's what I taught him, to be respectful and kind. I taught him how to have a bank account. I taught him how to wash his clothes, how to cook, how to make dishes, how to read recipes. He is only a chef because I taught him how to do it. And, you know, but I don't know. I don't know. Just realize that with the best laid plans and even the best upbringing does not necessarily mean that people are going to be what you thought they were going to be. And it's been hard for me. I really love my son a lot. And you know what? I used to really like him. I used to think he was really cool. Up until about 2013 when I got diagnosed with cancer, and then his hatred really came out. He didn't abuse me, start hitting me until the day I got diagnosed with cancer. That was the first time. And he didn't stop until I stopped him a year ago. Because no one would help me. No one would help me. No one's ever helped me. No one's ever stopped people from abusing me. Not when I was a child. And not as an adult, a vulnerable adult. I'm stronger now. I was pretty sick a few years ago. I was pretty sick. Like, there, you know, when I don't make videos means I'm not doing very well. You know, when I'm not making any videos, because there are times when even like the most makeup and the best lighting in the world can't hide the cancer that, you know, has like ravaged my poor body. I just want to live a peaceful life. I want to go into remission this year. I want to go backpacking again. I want to hike mountains again. I want to get back to my life the way it used to be when I was outgoing and had a lot of friends and was very outdoorsy and was living my best life. Then I got married and had a kid, and that all ended. Actually, my son and I had a lot of fun when he was a kid. We did. I coached his baseball teams, and we were successful because I'm really good. Pretty much everything I do, I'm really good at it. You know, not to toot my own horn, beep, beep, beep. I am a little bit, though. Sorry about that. But I'm confident in my own skills and abilities. And there's more to me than meets the eye. I'm going to be all right, you guys. Let me show you what I did today to kind of do my little, I'm doing this new thing to help me. It's like somatic healing. So look at this is what I did today. This is when I was feeling so much fury over, you know, the bombing campaign and stuff. So I did this. Isn't that pretty? And it's labeled My Fury. So I'm using art therapy to help me deal with, and look, he made my rosacea come back with a vengeance. Look at that. Red, 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 red. I mean, it could be because I was crying too, though, honestly. But it's all going to be all right, everybody. No matter what happens, as long as we stick together in community and care about each other and do what we can for each other, the world will be a better place. All right, my darlings, my sweet ones, my loves, to all the good and hardworking and lovely people out there. Sorry, ex-MAGA. I mean, sorry, MAGA. Sorry, ex-MAGA. I'm not in a headspace to, like, make you feel better or help you right now. But everyone else, still love you, MAGA and ex-MAGA. Still love you. I don't have the energy. Okay? You need to get that from other people, other ex-MAGA, okay? Go get that from other ex-MAGAs. Okay, dears? All right. All my love. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Be good. Be kind. Be generous. And protect yourselves.